What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Stronger, aka Asu the Guru, bringing you another video. Today I'm talking about a video I was watching, and it was Bernard Riley. He had a special guest on his show, on his panel. It was I believe the sister's name was Riley Charde. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. She said it was French or whatever, so sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but Riley Charde, right? And the topic that they was talking about was black beauty standards. Now, we know that within the culture, right, it's a big deal when sisters talk about you judging them, or we judge them on a Eurocentric or a white beauty standard, stuff like that. And I'm not saying that what I'm about to say is I'm finna launch off and say that the sister Charde was saying a whole bunch of stuff that was out of the way and wrong. But my take, my personal opinion is that I kind of wanted to speak on a couple things, right? I kind of wanted to give my opinion on some of the things she was saying, right? You know what I mean? So I had to take some notes, right? I had to bring out the notebook on this one because I wanted to make sure that I was getting exactly at what she was talking about. I want to make sure I got my facts straight, right? Now, just off the top, right? I feel like that this argument is more like how I think black women think that black men judge black women, as though we're trying to hold them to a European beauty standard. And I'm gonna have to disagree with that. I say that we're not, because I feel like this is an excuse that they want to say that, oh, this is why y'all date out, this is why y'all go after white women and stuff like that. And I'm just like, honestly, statistically, black men are not going after white women like that. Most white women are actually marrying their own, to be completely honest. And the same goes for black, actually. Most black men are actually marrying their own, but how many are marrying? That's the bigger question. How many black men are actually out here getting married or looking for marriage, or if they feel like they're just kind of done, they're just kind of tapped out with just dealing with marriage overall, right? But one of the points that she went at was some of the things I've heard other brothers talk about. Brothers want to have children that look like them, which is why they don't want to date out, and they want to deal with black women in that regard. I'm gonna have to say I don't really. I'm gonna have to say that that's a bit of a weak argument, and I'm gonna tell you why. Children that look like us, okay. Let's go ahead and get it all straight. Let's get the perspective right. As a black man, I've only heard a very small few ever say that. As any other brothers give that kind of point. To me that sounds more like something that black women would speak to and try to say that that's what we want. And I think that some brothers echo that point because they've heard black women say that, don't you want to have somebody that looks like you? But this is where that doesn't hold up under scrutiny, is because ain't that child gonna look like you regardless, black man? You know what I mean? Maybe that's an older kind of, like, maybe that's more of a Gen X thing. But guys my age, I haven't heard nobody say nothing like that. I ain't heard no millennials talk like that. Because who's to say that if you get with a woman who's maybe a couple shades lighter than you as a black man, if she's black and just a little lighter, if you're dark, that child is going to inherit all of your features or a lot of your features. You could look pretty different from your son because he inherited a lot of his mama's traits. So, there's that again. To me, that don't make sense, because anywhere a black man goes and decides that he wants to have children, those are going to be his sons or daughters regardless. To me, that doesn't matter. All right, to me that sounds a bit of an excuse. Or honestly, to me, it sounds like a little bit of shaming, to where you're trying to say, oh, if that child doesn't look like you, then what? He's not a black child? Or he's not your child? See how the logic don't really hold up, right? Or the child has to look like me. Well, sometimes your sons can be born and they don't quite look like you. All right, to me, that's kind of a weak argument. That's a bit of a weak point. All right, I don't really stand on that. I can't stand on that child look like you situation. And it really kind of gets into that whole colorism thing, because I think women more than men have an issue with colorism, because I believe their perception of why a black man would date out is it's about colorism. All right, it's about colorism. It's about, oh, you want something just lighter, as if to say we can't talk to a girl who's lighter but still be black, or it's all about skin tone. To me, I feel like that's a little bit more of a woman's point of view, is to say that men are just going after skin tones. That's why, once again, I'm just kind of like, nah, I don't know. That to me is not, it's not really hitting the mark on that, because it doesn't really hold up. No, that doesn't hold up, right? Because it's actually more about how you carry yourself as a woman, your personality, and your attitude. That's really what matters. Because brothers can travel and they still would be with a woman who's black, okay? But you make it sound like if it's not the if she ain't as dark as you and hair ain't the curliest, nappiest hair you've ever seen from the continent, then oh, that she ain't black. Whereas if you ever actually been to the continent, you would know that different regions of Africa have different features amongst black people. We got to understand, like, that's where it all started. Everybody pretty much came from there, or excuse me, they did. And you understand that different regions of Africa, they'll have different features, like different noses, different facial structures be a little different. Some are lighter, some are darker. All right. So, I mean, and it, to me, is that's more based around shaming, I feel like, because that kind of gets into like colorism and stuff like that. Some brothers who don't know any better, because I feel like they've been taught by that by women who are trying to shame them. Oh, don't you want to have kids that look like you? Your mama black and all this other nonsense? Come on, man, cut that crap out, man. These are the type of things that we need to fix in the culture. This is a culture issue. All right, this is a culture problem. I don't rock with that one. Another thing she said was that black men generally lust after bigger women. All right, now this one is a bit, we got to unpack this. Black men lust after bigger women. She was saying that even the brothers in the motherland want girls who are generally slim thick, or that's the beauty standard, instead of this frail, skinny. She might as well have said Becky, because it sounded like she just wanted to go ahead and say it, you know, just because every time she see, because if it's not slim thick, then it was frail, basically was her point. She kept saying it over and over, frail. It's just like, why can't she be athletic and have a nice body and be in shape? Why does she have to be frail? Because when you say slim thick, that's a slippery slope. You know why? Because there's a difference between the understanding of thick. Anytime you add thick to something in America, it's always like twice or three times as big. So for me, I'm just kind of like, nah, don't be trying to pass off no slim thick, because that's gonna give some ladies the idea that, oh, see, I'm already slim thick, I don't need to go in no gym. Brothers like slim thick. Just like, slow down. Your perception of slim thick is like a burger away from being on a bit of the on the farm animal side of the game. You know what I mean? So my thing is just like, don't play with that slim thick stuff, because she was trying to say that out there in the motherland, the girls got more hips, they're more curvy, more curvaceous. That's what men want. Yeah, but in perspective, but in reason though, there's a limit to that. There's a certain type of, understanding of how that works. Because she said it was waist hip ratio, which is true. Facts. But you got too many girls out here who are getting their waists snatched, and they got, you know, big dually truck hips. You know what I mean? Talking about they slim thick. And it's just like, no, hun, you're skipping the whole point of take care of your body, get in that gym. Once again, this ain't all. Some who don't want to work, okay, for the men that they want, right? So just passing it off or just saying, oh girl, you slim thick, you good, a man will pick you up. Not the type of man you really think you want. And I don't even like to play with that slim thick. You know, let's say athletic, because even as being a black woman, say you're more curvy, you're more curvaceous, right? Let's say so your genetics are more curves, you were born that way, that's fine. But there's still a limit or a level to what is, you know, hey, you need to, you know, tighten that up a little bit. You can still be curvy and still have a nice athletic body. You know what I mean? That doesn't give you the excuse to say, oh, you don't need to go to the gym. That's why I kind of am like, all right, let's put a handle on this. So let's get away from the slim thick mindset of that. Let's say athletic, healthy. All right, because some of these girls out here, you know what I'm saying, like, it's like you feel like you're doing the right thing, mom, but it's just like, nah, babe, you need to get in the gym though. You know what I'm saying? You still need to put in that work. You need to get the gym part of it right. Okay. Everybody appreciates a good body. So just because you don't have big dually truck hips, all right, and a super snatched waist, all right, you know, that don't mean that you can't, like, you just have like a nice athletic body, be nice in shape, right? Because even when I was in the military, like, there is no I was born curvaceous weight limit or scale when you get taped. There's a tape standard in the military, and that's what it is. All right, you don't get to say, oh, I was born, I got thick bones or whatever, all right? Because they don't tape off race in the military. There's a tape standard. You meet it or you don't. Simple as that. Simple as that. Okay. So now, another point I want to jump into. She said that in the States, we have Eurocentric standards are easier, and that she used an example of Cardi B as a Eurocentric standard. Now, I really don't know why she went to Cardi B for a Eurocentric standard out of everybody she could have went to. Now I'd have been like, yeah, you know, okay, I can see it there. But Cardi, I mean, who's technically not even black, but her Eurocentric standards, and they're saying that's what we're pushing in the culture, in today's culture, in our society. She's saying that the Eurocentric standard is being pushed. And I'm like, honestly, not really. I don't see brothers really just going after blonde hair, blue eyes, man. Like, nah, it's not really it. Like, I would say more girls, it's like more athletic, you know what I'm saying? Look healthy, wearing their natural hair, good personalities, stuff like that. But to say Eurocentric standards are easier than Afrocentric standards, I'm a little bit like, I mean, to make one easier, one harder. But then to give the example of Cardi B, and then she was also talking about how with the Afrocentric standards, your personality has to be good inside and out. Well, to me, it's just like, who is out not recognizing a woman's bad personality and saying we're not going to deal with that, even if she is white? Nobody's just letting that slide, because she jumped on the personality thing for the Afrocentric standard to say that it's harder, and that most of y'all sisters nowadays wouldn't meet that mark because of attitudes and different stuff like that, and that it would be harder with the Afrocentric side of the game. But then on the Eurocentric side of the game, personality isn't really taken into account. And I'm just like, what? And then that's why she used the example of Cardi B, and I'm just like, Cardi B is not a Eurocentric standard. I mean, as far as I know, her hair is pretty much naturally straight, and it's definitely not naturally blonde. So where are you going with that? Right? Where are you trying to go with that point right there? All right. This whole debate of colorism, you know what I'm saying? Different standards. Honestly, at the end of the day, ladies, get in the gym, work on them attitudes, and look to work with a man. Okay? Get out of this nonsense that it's all about skin tones and all this other stuff. And that's what men are after. We're after a certain type of hair color and stuff like that. Be your best self, man. Get out here and work on yourself. And do what you gotta do. All right? And let the work speak for itself. Okay? Because, I mean, the construct of race anyway is a social construct, meaning it's not an exact science. You know, it is technically, it's really a lie when you think about it, you know, because when you start trying to talk about mixed, or somebody who's mixed isn't black, it's just like, no, they're black. All right. If we look at the foundations of racism, white was white and that was it. All right. Either you was white or you wasn't. And if we're going to play the race game, that's what you're playing. That's what you're basing it off of. That's what you're basing the race game off of. White or not. But then they had to chop it all up into these different categories of skin tones, mulatto, you know, so on and so forth. You know, half this, half that, for political reasons. Right? Because now it creates a different political structure. If you don't have association with somebody who would be considered genetically black, because the black genes are dominant. So to even play with words like mulatto and all this other stuff, I mean, you know, it to me, it's just kind of like, why are we still doing this dance? Like, come on, man, mulatto, we're gonna get on skin tones? Really? Like, just because you're so if you're black, you have children with a white woman, as a man, your son isn't considered black? And out of all the celebrities and everybody we know that is mixed or some variation thereof that we claim black, I mean, we claim people black who's not even black at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, so let's step away from this in between stuff like, oh, this person half that. To be completely honest, your black genetics are very strong, and much stronger than what you think they are. That's why when they were constructing racism, it was about, you know, are you white or not? You know, there was no mixing. It was white or not. All right. So, man, it's but that's the culture, bro. Like that's the culture that we're dealing with right now. And this is why I speak on stuff like this, because I gotta call things like this out. Because to me, it bothers me. I'm just like, bro, let's stop doing this skin tone colorism dance, bro. You know, if we're going to get into genetics of who's genetically black, then a lot of people are technically black. All right. And that really, you change the whole majority minority narrative real quick. But you see what happens when that happens, you start to change the tides politically. That's why they got to keep us divided mentally off of some racist stuff. That's why they created the structure of it to begin with, because it puts them in a higher position or a seat of power. That's what that was about. But anyway, guys, man, this is my 2 cents about the situation. Shout out to the Bernard Riley show. Y'all go subscribe to him, check him out. Shout out to the sister Riley Charde. Check her out. Yeah, go give him a like, subscribe to his channel. You know, I appreciate you guys for joining me, man. I appreciate you guys for supporting. Drop a like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you want me to review next. And I'm gonna keep you guys in the loop. I'm gonna keep bringing you this content. We're gonna keep talking about the culture, because together we're gonna fix the culture. We're gonna make the culture correction up in here, baby. We gonna make this thing happen. All right. So guys, I appreciate you for joining me, and I'm gonna see you on another one. Peace.
trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. Yeah. I'm so handsome, all in karma.